Hey guys, let's see who we got here. Hey Jessica. Jessica said, "Oops, it happens. I don't know what happened, but I know it happens. Probably happened to me. Sorry I'm late." Hey Michael. Michael says, "Hey there, Yogi. I have a good excuse. I was talking to a car dealership, but it didn't work out." Michael says, "Hey there, Great Outdoors Adventures. Kudos on your second ASMR premiere. You deserve some sort of trophy for not saying a single word while filming this." Michael does deserve a trophy. Michael, why don't you give Michael a trophy? It says, "Yogi, Yogi, Yogi time." What's up, Skits? Jessica, how are you? Jessica says, "You found my hiding spot." We're hiding together sometimes, I think. I have certainly pulled the covers up over my head quite a bit these past few years. Not too long ago, actually. Guess it wasn't well hidden. That's a good thing, though. Even the times when I pulled the covers up over my head, scooted down all the way to the bottom, there was a part of me that wanted to be found. Hey, Sissy. Thank you for the happy poop. Much appreciated. Cat says hello. Hello, Cat. Jessica says, "Yeah, Jessica. Um, let's go." It's a hot one, fam. Got pretty hot here too. About not super hot, about 90 degrees. But so yeah, I was on the car. I was on the phone. I was in the car. I was on the phone with a car dealership. I did find a car, but it's not going to work. Um, it said on the website that they would finance, and it would only be $42 a month. But when I talked to them, the person, they said no, they don't do the financing. It says, "Jessica, I will always find you. I'm an expert." Cat sends some love and some flowers. Thank you, Cat. Hey, Princess. Hello. I hope everyone is doing good. Love you guys. Love you too. Susie says, "Everyone, I got the Omni love to you all." Thank you, my friend. We got some love from Jessica. Or I'm sorry, from Princess. Jessica says, "Okay to skits." Kat says, "I'm glad the workday is over." Me too. I'm glad for you. It was a tough day, Kat. I'm sorry. Princess says, "Skitosis, hey." So I was working on a fallback plan in case the whole YouTube thing doesn't work out. It was to get a car and get a job, sort of. Thank you, Sissy. And Instacart. Instacart, you can kind of pick your own work days. And I really like the thought of selecting food for people and blessing each item that I pick up to put in a bag. I wouldn't actually do the delivery, but I would do, I'd put it on a shelf, put it in the bag, and then someone else would deliver it. Very great thing. Selecting food for people you can't get out. And then everything you select it with care, with kindness, and infinite love, and send it on its way. Blessing. Little job of blessing. Jessica says, "Okay, corner time." Yeah, you mentioned that Sundays are easier for you. Kat says, "Really busy. Tomorrow should ease up." I hope so. Jessica, when you're ready to step out of the corner, we'll do some breath work if you want. Number 2 for the day. Thank you for that happy poop. Sniper says, "Greeting, beautiful souls." Just over on another channel, going through the decoding of C.S. Lewis and Narnia the Woods, Between Worlds. I always like C.S. Lewis's essays. Skit says, "Hope you have a wonderful weekend, Legendary Princess, and you, Eric, in chat." Thank you, Skits. You too. Michael says, "Hey there, Sniper." Jessica says, "Okay, Eric, whenever you're ready." So early on in the chat. Be a nice way to set the tone, set the pace. Who wants to do some breath work? Sissy says, I adore the Tales of Narnia. Simple says the Nepalese monks. That's the role of Hashish say a prayer while they work. Sissy is ready. Jessica is ready. All right, let's do it then, guys. Let's continue with the 4-7-8 for right now. Because what we want to do, you guys heard me talk about Sam Karras. Kat has heard me talk incessantly about Samkhara. Samkhara is the emotional imprint that we have been forming, some say for lifetimes. But we're always creating new ones. And in times of trauma, we create one sometimes instantly and very deeply, so that when something occurs, we enter that emotional imprint. It's the basis for anxiety. It's the basis for trauma-induced response, reaction to life. We want to even out those emotional imprints. Hey, Reluctant Gamer. We want to even them out so that instead of being reactive, instead of having something happen and we immediately react and we go into anxiety, panic mode, we become responsive so we have a choice. Everything plays out, and I see if I head in this way, I'm going to end up in anxiety. But if I go this way, I'm going to be able to coast. I'm going to be able to ride my way through. So yes, we breathe in for 7, or we breathe in for 4, we hold for 7, out for 8, through the mouth with pursed lips, as if we are blowing bubbles. Pretend I have a little wand in my hand. And you don't know, I might have a wand. Be gentle on the out breath. Hey, Jace. So, for those, Reluctant Gamer says, I get anxiety. So this is going to help. If you would like to practice this breath with us, we're going to breathe in. When we breathe in, we're breathing in gently through the nose, count of 4. Don't suck in air. We breathe gently, extending the breath inwards. We hold for a count of 7, and we exhale. For a count of 8. Make that whooshing sound. It's very soothing. Michael knows where to get a wand. He knows the guy who sells them. A wand dealer. So, for those who are going to participate, if you close your eyes, bring a soft and gentle focus on your breath. Just bring some attention to breathing in through the nose and out through the nose for right now. Just a couple breaths. Breathing in through the nose, breathing out through the nose. Take that same gentle awareness and bring it down to your belly. Watch as you breathe in through the nose that your belly gently expands. And as you exhale, your belly falls back. Breathing like the ocean. Breathing in, the belly expands. Breathing out, the belly falls back. Breathing in, breathing out. Bring that same attention a little farther up into your heart space, the center of the chest, and just rest there for a moment. This is the seat of intelligence in your body. It connects you with your truest, deepest self. It connects you with the universe. It connects you with each other. As you breathe in, fill it with light. As you breathe out, send that light to others. Breathing in, we breathe in light. Breathing out, we extend light to others. Take a big conscious breath in, release it. On this next breath in, we're going to breathe in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth. Pursed lips for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale, pursed lips for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 8. Whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale through the mouth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4, and hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale with a whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Breathing in for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Exhale for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Last breath for 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Exhale with a whoosh for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And surrender the breath. Completely relaxed. Bring that gentle attention right back to the heart space. Remember the light that you filled that space with. Infinite light expanding in all directions. This light is always available, ready to be invoked, ready to heal. It is your light. Every breath you take, this is prana, energy, the essence of life. Every breath you take, you are bringing it in, and you are offering it out. Your every single breath is a prayer. Your every single breath is bringing prana back into your body, back into your mind, healing you, relaxing you, and a gift to offer others. And when you're ready, open your eyes. I'll see you in the chat. Hey, Anna Marie. Anna Marie says, so glad I was able to make it for the breathing part. Me too. Thanks. JR says, peace, everyone. See you soon. Peace, Yogi. Take care, JR. Thanks for coming in. Yogi says, Sniper, I have CS do sermons on my all night while I sleep. Planting seeds, Shirley. That's awesome. Michael says, let's see if I can keep my mouth shut for that long. You did it. Congratulations, Michael. Good says, I'm so sorry. I heard, I just heard that I take a big breath and I lost my concentration. I was giggling forever, so next time I'll do better, promise. And nothing the matter with laughing. C.S. Lewis wrote a foreword to, I can't remember. It was Douglas Harding. Douglas Harding is the author of The Headless Way, on having no head. Definitely a mentor for mine. I'd never met him. Passed away at 96, 2007. But I have sat with his longtime student since the early 1970s, Richard Lang. Anna Marie says, amen. Amen. Hi, Mr. Yogi. How are you doing today? I'm doing good, Anna. Anna Marie, it was great seeing you over at Maddie's. Deborah says, Michael Pekin sent it to me firstly, and I'll plow over them. So I don't have a wand, but I have a decorative spoon. It serves its purpose. I like C.S. Lewis. Back to C.S. Lewis. Let's read a couple quotes. Anyone have any favorite C.S. Lewis quotes? Is Maddie the same as No Frills? Yes. Hey, Bob. Listening and grabbing. Hi, everyone. Hey, Bob. Bob, how are you? Some days you'll be old enough to start reading fairy tales again. If we find ourselves with a desire that nothing in this world can satisfy, the most probable explanation is that we were made for another world. That could have been right out of A Course in Miracles. All right. We did our breath work. We've read some quotes. What do you guys want to do now? Sissy says, my Wi-Fi dropped. I'm sorry, Sissy. She says, I got to visit him today for a little while. Was he fishing or was he tying flies? Thank you, Sissy. I did catch that big 100. It's the first time I saw that. Zipper says, reason is a natural organ of truth, but imagination is the organ of meaning. I like that. Sissy says, I'm going to have a do-over after this session. It's thinking Wi-Fi. Team replay. I'm sorry. We'll try not to say anything important without you. Thank you again, Sissy. Is Toy Pups coming? I don't know. She was over hanging out with Skits earlier. We never know when she might pop in. Surely, if you wanted me to, I could send a request. She says fishing while I was there. Yeah, he was fishing this morning, and then he was tying some flies. Personally, I'd like him tying flies the best. Just like just a warm and relaxing atmosphere. The same thing Bob offered me when he was making venison sausage the first time I came to hang out with him. And now I've been a member of his channel for I don't know how long, but not too far away from a year, I think. Happy to support too. Anna Marie says he was tying flies and talking. Mom Dog and I jumped up on that panel and talked for a bit. Oh, I'm sorry I missed you up on the panel. It's always great to see you, Mr. Yogi, even on other channels. Thank you so much, Anna Marie. Shirley says, well, yes. All right. Let's make a request. Kat says, I support Bob's redhead. I support Bob's redheads, of course. Of course. Got to stick together, right? Does Bob have an opinion on Little Debbie? Bob's laughing. Sissy says, I have a wand and it is solid white crystal massage wand. Oh. How did you come across your wand, Sissy? Billy says, I would love to see that, Sissy. Do you show it on your channel? That's what I was thinking. Anna Marie says, oh, nothing too interesting on my part. I was just tending to my plants and talking about random things. I heard you talk about coyotes. Not when you were on the panel, but in the chat. That wine feels great when I rub it along the shoulder blades. Jace said, hi. Hey, Jace. Pepper says, Jace. Jace says, hey, squirrel. I have a brush. I forget what it's called. It's for the, you use it for the lymphatic system. Rubbing in key places with it. It's a big, long brush. Gets the lymph fluids flowing. Acts as a detox. Jason's saying hi to everyone. So for now, this is as close as I can get to a wand. It's pretty good, though. I like it. It's got a good feel to it. Thank you, Sissy. Dry brushing. Do you do that yourself? Very good for you. You know what else is very good for you? Very energizing. It's a somatic practice as well as part of a Qigong warm-up. Marching in place. This is Cat and Bob. And as you march in place, as one leg goes up, hand on the knee, hand on the other knee, alternate. It's very good for the brain. Sissy says, absolutely, and sea salt baths. I should do that. I need to get sea salt to add in my morning water. I've had several conversations about that and how it's good for you. William and I have talked about it. I forget which one he said was better. Sissy says they're jump roping. Yes. You need to get a new jump rope. I got a weighted one. That's pretty good. Jace says hi to Jessica. Jessica says hi to Jace. So we share a lot of the same practices, Sissy. Who else has a well-being practice? What do you do every day? Health-wise. And by health, I mean physical, emotional, spiritual, because ultimately it's all the same thing. Take care of one, you take care of the others. Jay says the sea has healing properties due to the salt. It does. I'm about 3 hours away from the ocean. I could be in the Chesapeake Bay in about 30 minutes, maybe less, depending on traffic. I could be on a paddle boat in the Baltimore Harbor in about 20 minutes. Yeah, maybe half an hour. But I can be in the Patapsco River that leads to the Chesapeake Bay in about 10 minutes. Thank you, Jace. Jace is a member for 10 months. Much appreciated. I think Jace was one of my very first. Jason, Eric Lapointe, and Duncan Walsh. It was Eric Lapointe and Duncan who convinced me to get membership. I told this story before. Bentonite clay is great detox, Miss Yogi. Put some and some Epsom salt in a bath and relax for a bit. It actually sounds really good. I do have Epsom salt. I used to love taking Epsom salt baths after a long race or a really long training run. Therapist says, Souls, I have 6 pins and a plate in the center of my spine. I really missed my back scratching brush. Now it's just too sensitive. Shirley says, "I'm sincerely sorry about that, Sniper." Thank you, Jace. C rhymes with P. All good. C, C does rhyme with P. But it also rhymes with we. Sissy says, I have several back scratchers. Dang, I should send you one. Epsom salt equals magnesium. Any opinions on the best salt to use to drink? Ayurvedic principle. Ayurvedic is the sister science of yoga. And one of the principles is to drink a large glass of warm water, preferably with just a squeeze of lemon. But if I go downstairs, slice up a lemon, it becomes a whole big thing with a cat, and both cats. It takes a lot of time. I got to feed them. I got to pay attention to them. So I just want to do it while I'm upstairs, and then I go and then I do my meditation, my breath work. So it was recommended to do sea salt, just a pinch. But we've been throwing around what kind to use, the best kind. So if we see a P, do we see the P? I hope not. I'm not looking. I'm not looking, and you can't make me look. Anna Marie says, hey, Jace. Thank you, Sissy. Celtic. Here's another question. Do you say Celtic or Celtic? Thank you, Michael Burkeen. Says they have some strong magnesium potassium cream when it gets too bad. Hey, Danny. Get away from Danny. Danny, how are you? Danny says, Jace Yogi wants mushy peas. I don't even want to say mushy peas. Shirley says, poor Jace is tired. Yeah, I expect so. Anna Marie says the second way. Celtic. What did I say first? Celtic salt is also a good one. Jessica's here still. Thank you, Jessica. Humor helps everything, Sniper, my dear friend. Tip says, okay, Shirley, I'm happy to hang up my ballet shoes. So that's a good way to start the day. And if you don't have troublesome cats, do the lemon. You can do it with the, there's a distinction there between the two, Celtic and Celtic. I think you've mentioned that before, Sniper. I always said Celtic, and I was corrected by a Scottish friend. Because I always thought the Boston Celtics were wrong, and it was supposed to be Boston Celtics. But then I was told, nope, Celtic is actually right. I don't know. So drink that glass of water, warm, first thing in the morning, squeeze of lemon. It hydrates you, and if you do it with that drop of Celtic salt, it will nourish you. It will give you your electrolytes, help balance you out. Thanks for the email, Michael. Then do your breath work and then meditate. Then do your yoga asana routine. Everyone should have a yoga asana routine. Doesn't have to be involved. If you learn how to do the sun salutation and you do it one time, that would be enough. I would like to add a few more. I'd add a deep squat and the child pose, and you're good to go. Maybe I'll demonstrate that tomorrow. Hey, Dan. Dan says, yogi time, yogi time. I got to admit, Dan's version is really catchy. Dan brings a a weighty quality to it, almost like a Springsteen-esque. He tells a story with his yogi time. Anna Marie says we have to ask Maddie. Yes, if he pops in tonight, he might be in bed already. Yeah, I saw it pop up. I didn't get a chance to read the email, but it popped up on my screen that I got an email from Michael Burkeen, which made me smile. Thank you, Michael. Jessica says, where did Skits go? He might be walking Coco, might be walking the dog. Danny says, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How was your day? How was your workout last night? You said you were going to work out, right? Anna Marie says, I do salt, lemon, ginger, cayenne pepper, and some turmeric. I make it into a shot. Make it a shot. I'm glad you said you put the pepper in too. Pepper needs to be with the turmeric in order to activate it. Dan says, Yogi likes my yogi time. I do like your yogi time. This says, Dan, I can see you smiling. That's the funny thing. When he sings it, he's not smiling when he does, but then he gets this like shy smile when he's done. One day we're gonna have to get Dan up on a singing night and have Dan sing a song. Shirley says Lee disappeared too. Yeah, they might have fallen asleep. Dan says that's cool, Anna Marie. It's good for inflammation. Danny says, Yogi, I need to change my profile because most people think little kids. I could get in trouble by YouTube. We have another friend, Danny. And for a while, I thought that you were that Danny. Anna Marie says, true poor man, good for many things. Yep, the ginger, very good for digestion. Michael says, enjoying the stream on both accounts. Thank you, Michael. Jay says, Lee will be sleeping now. Skits will be walking Coco. Hey, Chloe. Chloe says, hi. Thanks for coming in, Chloe. How are you? Everyone should have a waking hygiene practice. I know that sounds like a definitive statement, right? Everyone should. Everyone would benefit. How you wake up, what you do when you wake up determines the course for your entire day, including how you will be able to sleep the following night. How you get up is important. Hydrate, breath work, meditate, yoga routine. Some people say yoga first, then meditate. Here's the thing. It's so easy to skip meditation, but it's so valuable. So do meditation first. Kat says should. So you want me to stick with should? Chloe says, good. How was your 4th of July yesterday? It was good. It was a good day, but it wasn't anything like outside of any other day. How's your weekend been, Chloe? Jace says, Cece, hey Cece. Cece, how are you? Jace waves at Cece and Chloe. Cece says, so did Jace. So, along with the water, the breath work, the meditation, hey Chef Mary, the yoga asana routine, none of that needs to take very long. Cece gives me a wave, says Yogi. Getting outside for a walk in nature, 20 minutes. Consider that part of your spiritual practice. Consider that part of your meditation. and then do something creative. And again, it sounds like that's going to take a long time. If you were to wake up an hour earlier, you would get all that done and you would benefit so much from it. It also puts you in touch with the circadian rhythm, um, so that you will sleep better at night because we're getting that first light to your eyes, which helps you sleep later in the night. It's good for optimizing health. Chef Mary, how are you? Michael says, slept like a log after being out in the heat all afternoon. Hey, how was the trip down to Mississippi, Michael? Chef Mary says, watch my new video. I will. Hey, Chef Mary, do you want to drop a link? Always feel free to drop links, guys. And let us know what you're dropping. Chloe says, I'm going out for dinner tonight because I'm celebrating a delayed Father's Day. So about, not too much, what, about 2 weeks? 2 or 3 weeks? I'm glad you're still celebrating. Michael says that's part of the reason why I started this channel. Get away from Chef Mary. Michael says it was good. I'm glad. Shirley says bonsoir, CC. There she is. Shirley, you asked and you have received. Anna, hey Anna. Anna says, hi Yogi, hi everyone. Nice to see you, Anna. Thank you, Chef Mary. Tip Up says, Jace, hi. Tip Up says, sorry we're late. That's okay. I'm just happy that you're here. Chloe says, I was supposed to celebrate Father's Day on the actual day, but I was out of state. At least you made the commitment, though. Shirley says, Trip Ups, the circle is not complete without you. Michael says, I'm trying to get more in tune with nature, using my body as a tool of communication. So that's why in the ASMR videos, I don't say anything because I'm concentrating on what I'm hearing. I like that, Michael. I like everything that you just said. Trip Ups is listening in the background. You can come up and sing in the foreground if you want. Chef Mary says, on. And it says, howdy, great outdoors. We got a special guest coming up. Oh yeah, you guys wanted to see how huge my hand actually was.
Hey.
Now I remember.
You've improved. You've definitely improved. Namaste, brother. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Saturday-ish, nearly Sunday-ish. I just balance that phone just very quickly. So, what brings you here on a Saturday night?
Oh, just hanging out, seeing what happens.
As you do. Just casually sat there on your stool, looking all pretty and sexy as you do.
It's a gift.
What are you doing tomorrow?
I'm probably going to be looking all sexy and pretty somewhere else, maybe in my basement.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a bit of a plan then. So, does that mean we're going to link up for that 100 burpees?
Sure, we're going to do 101 pumps.
That sounds perfect. Should we mix up nasal and standards?
Yep. You want to do 8:30? My time?
Perfect.
Not going to interfere with anyone else?
We go on your channel.
Nah.
Come on, post it up. I'll come onto yours.
I'd like to own yours.
Okay.
because people see me 3 times a day.
Why did you mention that?
Because I don't want people to overdose on Yogi.
So I just
Him
got a
again.
little song. I got a few, just a few gentle lyrics put away in the back of the mind. And one of the lines was 3 times a day. That's crazy. It went something like this. Yogi, Yogi, I get down on my knees for you. If you do burpees on Sunday, that's what we will do, yeah. We had a love, a love, a love you don't find every day. So don't take Yogi away. Yogi, 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 please, please, please. I need burpees, need burpees, need burpees, need burpees. Give me your love. There you go, mate.
Awesome.
Just a quick one.
Hey, Shirley says, I thought you were with Reaper tomorrow.
I was supposed to be, but I'm not sure. I'll check. I can do both.
Okay, if something interferes, let me know.
An extra 100 reps shouldn't be too much of a burden.
No, not for you. Yeah, but let's stick with yours.
Could we just do? I've got 2 minutes left to kill. I won't take the whole 5 minutes up. If I just do the start of a song, would you just do the last line for me?
If I know it.
I think you might know it. If
Is
you
it
just
Mike
count me in,
Sharona?
please. If you count me in.
All right, you ready?
Yeah.
1,
Just the
2,
last line.
a 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yogi, yogi, yogi time, yogi time, yogi time, yogi, yogi, yogi time, yogi, yogi.
Moo?
Yay! Cheers, brother.
I'm no
Namaste.
poor. I did my best. I'm no poor man's Jim, but I did my best.
The tone was perfect. The timing was great. You're a natural born star. Much love. See you
Much love. I'll see
tomorrow.
you tomorrow. Yep.
I'll go back in chat. Cheers, brother. Namaste.
Namaste. Burpees with Jace tomorrow, guys. Come on by and hang out. 100 reps. 100 reps is a drop in the bucket for Jace. But he makes it a fun time. You know? It's a good way to spend a Sunday morning. Because I laugh a lot. Hanging out with a good friend. You guys pop in. You make me laugh too. You make Jace laugh. When Jace laughs, I laugh. So I might not always show it. I try to take that stoic approach. I'm not always overt in my laughter. Probably more so now than ever. Thanks to you guys. You guys bring a whole lot of spontaneous happiness to my life. Sometimes I use this expression often. I use it very often with Kat. Sometimes I just break open. That sounds bad, right? It isn't. It isn't. I cannot contain life any longer. I cannot contain love any longer. However, it needs to be expressed. Sometimes it's expressed in a very vulnerable fashion. Sometimes in an overwhelming sadness, because sometimes you can't participate in life without being part of the sadness. And we are participators. We're not mere witnesses. We belong to the very fabric of life itself. We are life, nothing separate. But when you can allow yourself to break open like that, it's even if it seems sad, it isn't. It's sacred. It's holy. Yes, Jace nails it. Sometimes embracing requires release. Exactly. Perfectly said. Shirley says, you look extra good. You like that robe, Shirley? Says, woohoo. I'm excited. So I gathered. I think the woohoo gave it away, Michael. I'm excited. Only 44 hours away until I get to hang out with a friend of mine on a live stream, and this friend has never been on my panel. Awesome, Michael. You've been talking about it quite a bit. I know you're excited. You're so excited you came out with a spontaneous woohoo. Here's where suffering comes in. Suffering is different than expressing. If you see me sad and you see me crying, that doesn't mean I'm suffering. It means that I'm sad and it means that I'm crying. Suffering is when I feel that and I deny it or I don't want it. I want to feel something different. Suffering is when we grieve but want to push the grief away. This hurts too much. I can't grieve any longer. I've grieved too long. I will always grieve my father. I will always grieve my mother. I will always grieve the end of my marriage and relationship. But that doesn't mean I will suffer. Doesn't mean I will suffer. And through that process of grieving, I begin to open up to the new things, the gifts that I've been given. And I've been given some great gifts lately.
I love your message that you were just saying, and I thought, why not? Like, come to the Yogis Live and
And
sing
show
a
off
song.
the beautiful sky.
It's gorgeous, isn't it? I wanted
It
to share
is.
it with you guys. Look how gorgeous. I love clouds. It means the unicorn, fluffy rainbow unicorns are out prancing. Happy Saturday, everyone. I thought I'd come sing a song, Yogi. I think that's all the energy I have left in me to belt one out, you know?
What do you got for us?
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
It's the only thing I got written down. You know what I mean? I got something written down because my support device isn't very supportive lately and it's making me sad. So here we go. Got it now, guys. I could stay away. I could stay awake just to hear you breathing. Watch you smile while you are sleeping. While you're far away and dreaming. I could spend my life in this sweet surrender, where every moment spent with you is a moment I treasure. Here we go, guys. Sing with me. I don't want to close my eyes. I don't want to fall asleep 'cause I'd miss you, baby. And I don't want to miss a thing. You can't miss the Yogis Live, guys. 'Cause even when I dream of this, the sweetest dream could never do. I'd still miss the Yogis Live. And I don't want to miss a thing. Okay. How did I do? Because that's all I got in me.
Perfect. That was
So,
awesome.
thank you. Some days, you got it, and some days you don't got it. So it's okay. I feel for you, Chase. I love you so much. I hope you're doing well. That was for you. Because I'm
Hey,
not doing well either, but why not? Mhm.
I have a song suggestion for you.
Oh, what's that?
Hey, Seb. Um, well, you and I have traded songs suggestions back and
Yeah,
forth. Gilbert
I
says
love it. I love
fantastic
your
so far.
suggestions.
Do you
Pardon?
know Joni Mitchell, both who's Canadian, by the way? Because you just showed off your clouds, it had me thinking her both sides now. Do you know
Joni
it?
Mitchell. No, I don't.
Joni, Joni Mitchell.
Oh, Joni Mitchell. Joni
Yep.
Mitchell. Okay.
I'm going to sing the very first part for you
Okay.
because it's about clouds.
Okay.
Like, you've never sung Joni Mitchell before.
Okay.
You ready?
Yeah. And then I'll make a suggestion for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Rows and flows of angel hair, and ice cream castles in the air, and feather canyons everywhere. Looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. Well, I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's clouds' illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all.
At all.
Nicely done. Thank you for that. Thank you for that ending flourish.
I was like, fingers crossed. I hope it's the ending and I'm not, because you guys know I do active listening, right? Like, that's a thing. Like, I literally do active listening when it seems like I'm interrupting, but I'm not, because on my end, I'm actively listening. It's a real thing, guys. It's just what I do. Okay, so that was really
I think you could. So so's your grammar. You speaking you, yes, you were speaking gooder and gooder. I have heard Patsy Cline.
yeah. I'm gonna suggest any one of Patsy Cline, because I mean you can't have enough of Cline, right?
It's true. I think everyone would probably want to do crazy.
Oh my God, crazy, crazy in love with. I don't know the words, but if I did, I would kill it. Kill
I'm sure you
it.
would.
I just need the words. I'm a Patsy Cline. What's her name again? Patsy Cline. I'm
Patsy
a
Cline.
Patsy Cline's. Yeah, I'm her number one fan. That's why I know her name at the tip of my tongue. No, but seriously, I am. I'm a number one fan. I think her voice and her tone, and she's so romantic, and I just love it.
Do you know who wrote that song? Crazy?
No,
Willie
no,
Nelson.
no to the way.
Yep.
Oh my gosh!
And it went
Seriously, they're from the same time.
yep, it went nowhere. Until Patsy Cline did it. He wrote several songs that never got successful. He didn't become successful until the
Yeah.
1970s after like 2 decades of writing songs for other people.
Wow, no way. I never even knew that. That's amazing. Oh my gosh, that is so cool, right? Because like that's her song. I never even thought to investigate who wrote that song. But you should investigate it because the writers are amazing.
They
The
are.
people who write that music, and sometimes they specified for that singer, and I think it's such a beautiful thing, such a craft. So beautiful. Um yeah, Yogi. So I'm going to say namaste to you. I hope you guys like that. Um Hold on, I had something else written down, but let me see if I can remember the tune. Okay, yeah. Look into your eyes, I see a paradise. This world I found is too good to be true. Here, guys. Let them say we're crazy. Who gives a damn? Put your hands in my hands, baby. I don't know the words. Yeah, but let them say we're crazy. Like, nobody cares. We're amazing. We're expressive. And everybody just expresses themselves differently. And the yogi's channel is so amazing because he's so inclusive of everyone. He's like, come on here and express yourself the best that you feel that you can shine, and just shine, because that's all everyone's doing when they come on the yogi's live stream. They're just shining so bright, like shine bright like a diamond. Shine bright like a diamond. Come on the Yogi's Live and shine bright like a diamond. Now I'm gonna have to say it like that all the time. Just come on here, shine, say a poem, do some Muay Thai moves, man. Like, come do some kickboxing or something. Come express yourself the way that you feel comfortable. I love singing, so that's why I like coming on here and singing. I like telling jokes, so I come on here and be funny. I like and just like being myself because the Yogi's channel allows me to just be myself. But maybe you might have a different talent. Maybe you might like to write stories or something. You might like Mysteries Untold. You're such a great storyteller. I don't even know if you're in the chat, but you better rewatch this live stream because I'm shouting you out. And come on here and tell us some of your stories about your travels and places you've gone. Magnetic, what are some of the things that you guys have found in the water and where you cleaned? Like, what? That's such a great message you guys are sharing. Everybody, it doesn't matter if you're like, you don't even have to show your face, Yogi says. Just come on here and brighten up someone else's day, because that's what it does when you come on the live stream. You're brightening up someone else's day. So, Yogi, thanks for giving me this space to kind of like big you up because you're like all about getting bigged up around here. We love you. And guys, super chat, man. It's a Saturday. Super chat. And make me smile too. Yogi, your hand can be bigger than mine today.
I appreciate that.
Yeah. Because I'm going to let you have bigger hands. That's why I don't need to compete with anybody. I'm just joking. I need to compete with everybody like all the time. Like, don't get it twisted,
Oh,
guys. I'm
hey,
coming for you.
don't leave the chat for a few minutes if you don't mind. I want to show you something.
Oh, okay. I'll be here. I'll be
Okay.
here. I'm not leaving. I'll be here for the whole live stream, Yogi. And I'm listening. It's not on mute or nothing. I'm listening. Better
Awesome.
be a good surprise because now I'm
It,
anticipating it. It better
it
be
is.
good. You better sing another song because that's the only way. Fix it if that's not a good surprise. I'll be like, okay, well, he sang a song.
It's
So
even
it's
better, and you'll love it. I guarantee you.
all good. Okay. Love you guys.
Love you
Bye,
too.
Shirley. Bye. I can't see. Chase. Chase. I love you so much. That's a fat heart. Yogi, complete the heart for Chase.
I don't
You
know how
can
to
do
do
it,
it.
Yogi. No, you gotta bend. That's a weird heart. Yogi, get with the
Do you say heart?
program.
This is
You're
a
too
heart.
close.
This is an
No, it's not. It's a deformed.
atonically.
Yogi did a
That's a perfect heart.
You did a deformed
Anatomically
heart.
correct.
Somebody else better connect with me and make a perfect heart. Because Yogi's
It's a
heart,
heart.
he's gonna
Look,
learn that
that
one
was a
next,
heart.
guys.
Now look, hold on,
No,
hold
it
on.
wasn't. It was like more like a circle.
I'm
We're
gonna
not
do a
trying to do a
spleen.
circle. You
I'm
were
gonna do
like
a spleen
this.
next. This is a spleen. Hold on. I'm gonna do a liver. This is a liver. I'm gonna do all. I'm doing all the organs. What else do you want to see? Hold on. Look, here's a kidney. I'm doing a kidney.
Because she only has one kidney, guys. It's not funny. Marie only has one.
I remember her mentioning that. She is. I agree. I was not coming for Marie. Marie is always Marie is always on my side. She's always on my side.
Guys.
All right. Tip ups, raise your hand when you're back in the chat. I have it up. I'm going to give a little backstory here. Anna Marie says, I got you. Thank you, Anna Marie. Jay says, bless you, Mumsy. Jessica says, it's okay to skits. Skits says, Yoka. Yeah, I can do you a favor. What would you like, Skits? Whatever you'd like. So as soon as Toy Pups gives us a wave and lets us know she's back in the chat. Some of you have seen it this afternoon, and then there's some people here who haven't. You will be surprised. You will be moved. Shirley says, no, no, no. We change your mind, Shirley? Oh, not here. I'm sorry. Okay. I got you. I went back and checked. Got you. 100%. Understood. Privately. Got you. I will show it to her. We will talk probably tomorrow or Monday. Got you. Thanks, guys. Thanks for catching me in time. Toy Pups, we're ready for the surprise. The surprise is we are not going to have a surprise. It's going to wait until you call me either tomorrow or Monday, whenever you call me next. Gotcha, Shirley. Toy Pup says, oh my God, now I have to fix my messenger. Yes, you do. It says, well, at some point tomorrow, I'm going to be in a bit of a pickle jar. And the only way out is if people come to my live and sing. I'm in. What time is the live stream? I really don't love surprises. Too much exposure for sure. Gotcha. I understand. Hey, Shirley, it was a big thing for this afternoon when we did it with your blessings. So yeah, that one, that's enough. Toy Pups is excited. You will love it when you see it. Anna Marie says, I'm so curious to know what the surprise is. Well, we'll have to wait on it for a good reason. Toy Pup says, I'm going to go watch it. I'm not sure if it's up. Toy Pup says, Skits, we're down. Yeah, Skits, just let us know. I apologize, Shirley. Skits says, yes, Puppy Mommy Mumpster's in too. Yeah, but you should have a good crowd, Skits. It's going to be fun. Toy Pups, it was my mistake. I left my eyes from the chat and made a mistake. Shirley says, I'm a member of this weirdo club after all. You are a leading member, a guiding member. Jessica says, I'll be there. I'm not sitting, just watching. Forgot to take my supplement, guys. Toy Pup says, okay, I'm learning patience. If you get a chance to call me tomorrow. Skit says, I will send you a message tomorrow on Messenger, brother. Thanks, Skits. Hey, when you send me the message, if it's set up, send me the link too, and I can click right in. Toy Pup says, I'll be patient. Absolutely. Love you guys. No one's ever surprises me. It's hard to do. I'm like in your face. All right, here's a surprise for you, Toy Pups. Are you ready? Crazy. I'm crazy for feeling so lonely. I'm crazy. crazy for feeling so blue. I knew you'd love me as long as you wanted, and then someday you'd leave me for somebody new. How's that for a surprise? Didn't see that coming, did you? That's to make up for my lack of surprise. It says, thank you for being there, Jessica. Jessica says, of course, Skits always. I promised Toy Pups a surprise in the chat. So there was a surprise in the chat. Patsy Cline's hard to sing. Oh, Shirley, you never, ever, ever, ever need to apologize to me. Ever. I'm apologizing to you. I should have been more attentive to what was being written. Toy Pup says, that was beautiful, and no, wow, you sang it so good. That's a tough song to sing. It's a spontaneous song from Yogi. What? Did not expect that. Beautiful Yogi. What a song too. It's a beautiful song. Again, it's one of those old country songs. Reminds me of my dad. Anna Marie says, "Bravo, thank you, my friend." Tip Up says, "Love you, Shirley. You are sneaky." Adam says, "The only thing better than singing for a crowd is singing a margarita on a nude beach. Is drinking a margarita on a nude beach." I'm gonna have to go with the singing. Actually, I'd rather sing to you guys. I don't think I could sing in front of a crowd. It says, I better put some food in the oven. Shirley says, thank you, Jace, for getting his attention. Actually, the first thing I saw was you saying no, 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 no. And then I realized, and then I saw Jace's attention grabbing text. So thank you both. Pep says nude beach. But why? Michael says, well, bad news. My friend had to cancel. I'm sorry, Michael. I know you were looking forward to that. You've been talking about it for a couple of days. Had to cancel the live due to a work emergency, but no worries. Will happen one way or the other. Yeah, it'll happen, Michael. Anna Marie says, hey, Skits, sorry for the late hi, but I was sidetracked. Pup says, I have the bestest friends in the whole entire world. You do. You certainly do. Pup says, I'm feeling, I think, loved. You certainly are loved. 100%. Shirley says, because you are the best friend, Toy Pups. Jessica says, I'm going to go hide for a while. Have a good night, everyone. Lots of love. Lots of love to you, Jessica. Adam says, when is the live skits? Hey, Adam, do you think you would ever want to come up and sing? Skitses are here. Jason's waving at Adam. Skit says, that's okay. I forgive you, Anna Marie, but it's only because you're awesome. Anna Marie is awesome. Pip Up says, Shirley, stop. I'm going to go hide with Jessica. Adam waves at Jace. Toy Pups is laughing. Oh, Adam says, so I haven't figured out how to work my phone. Gotcha. I need to remember to keep posting the link to get on the live in my on my wall, my page, whatever it's called. Shirley says, I'm so glad I found you last night, Toy Pups. I needed that time with you. Anna says, oh, thank you guys. You're welcome, Anna Marie.
back. Guess who's back? Adam, brother. There's 3 little dots on the top right corner. If you press those 3 little dots and hit description, it will take you into a little menu. You'll see a little load of text at the top, which is the link. If you hold your finger on it, you'll get 2 little teardrops come up. They don't always go to the edges. The right-hand side one always goes to the bottom, but the left-hand side one only goes so far. That opens your first 3 options. If you hold the teardrop, you just lift it up slightly, it'll expand and give you the open option. And that's how you'll get into the chat. Hopefully that helps everybody else. It's just a nice, simple, clear instruction. So it's the 3 little dots into the description. Hold your finger onto the link, expand the left-hand teardrop up slightly. That gets you straight in. And that works for all of the Join Together live links.
You ever think about making a short for that?
The amount of shorts that I wear. One more. 2 minutes. You must have thousands of great jokes. Don't hear you coming out with many. The quick-witted responses, they're next level. That brain's like steps in front. You're definitely standing behind the eye, observing.
On occasion. On
Where's
occasion.
Zena? Let me show you something. So she has this little green ball, tiny ball, the one that's in her mouth. Where's Zena? Watch this. It's her baby. She's guarding her baby. So yeah, it's a little $1 ball. It's got a little shiny light inside and a squeaker. And as you saw, I go to put my hand near the ball when it's in her cage and she's like, "That's my baby." Right, it looks like it's worked for Adam. So I'm going to jump off. Hopefully, Adam will be able to come up. But there she is. She's happy as Larry. She's just had some chicken, a whole chicken breast. That's me. Happy Saturday, people. I'm off to bed soon. Much
See you
love.
tomorrow, Jace.
Hopefully that helps other people. Sure.
Bye, my friend. Michael, that's awesome. I'm glad you got it rescheduled. A long-awaited guest. I've been waiting a while for this, Adam.
Okay, I have no music prepared.
That's okay.
Okay.
How are you?
I am good, man. I'm at my mom's house visiting my mom and my brother. Yeah,
Are they nearby where you live, or did you have to travel?
travel to Huntsville, Alabama.
Ah.
A place I don't really like to come back to.
No. You're in Tennessee, right?
Yes, Lynchburg, Tennessee, home of Jack Daniels.
Right. I
And
knew I
a
recognized
whopping,
that.
like 5,000 people live in Moore County. A lot of farms, open spaces. It's beautiful.
Sounds like it.
Tennessee is the most biodiverse state in the union.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
You have the
I know.
Cumberland Plateau and then the mountains, and you go out west, and it's as horrible as Arkansas. No offense to Arkansanians or whatever you call yourself.
Hey,
But,
I always wanted to visit the Pine Barrens, Arkansas, Missouri, Oklahoma.
oh,
Not the Pine
okay.
Barrens. I'm sorry, not the Pine Barrens, the Ozarks.
Oh, yeah. That would be interesting. I mean, probably even in the middle of Texas, there's something pretty to look at.
Oh yeah,
You have to drive a couple of hours.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Uh,
I think every state offers something.
oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, New Jersey is called the Garden State, and people don't realize that it's one of the most densely populated states in the country, but it's all in very several key places. And the rest of the country, you got mountains, foothills. Appalachian Trail goes right through the northeastern section of New Jersey. Uh,
Nice.
it's very, very pretty state. And you have what I said earlier, the Pine Barrens, which is basically a pine marsh swamp right in the middle of New Jersey.
Oh, wow. Bizarre.
It is. Look up the Jersey Devil. It's supposed to be some sort of monster that
I've
is
heard of the
located,
Jersey Devil.
yeah, in the Pine
Yeah.
Barrens.
People go camping and hoping to see the Jersey Devil.
Right. Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
Uh,
you got a song in you?
oh, I always have a song in me, I suppose.
I figured you would. And I figure it's going to be an awesome song.
Well, I told you, Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog is probably in the top 10 happiest songs.
Yep.
So, I guess that comes to mind. I want to sing happy songs. There's a lot of depressing, sad songs in me as well. But yeah, I can sing that real quick. Of course, I might not get past the first stanza or whatever, but I'm gonna walk a little bit. I don't want to scare my mom. She's old. But anyway, so Jeremiah was a bullfrog, was a good friend of mine. I never understood a single word he said, but I sure helped him drink his wine. And he always had some mighty fine wine, singing joy to the world. All you boys and girls, joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. Don't. If I was the king of the world, I'd tell you what I'd do. I'd throw away the cars and the bars in the world and make sweet loving to you. Come on now, joy to the world. All you boys and girls, joy to the fishes and the deep blue sea, joy to you and me. I guess I didn't do too bad. I didn't scare off the mockingbird up there. Oh, and it's my brother's crazy van. I don't know if there's any Rat Fink fans out there, but I don't even know if you can. There's the Rat Fink was kind of like the the answer to Mickey Mouse. It was the bad Mickey Mouse.
Ah. Hey,
But anyway,
that was an awesome song, and it was a great pick. And you're right, it is a happy song.
oh yeah, we should wish everyone joy.
This is
Well, I
true.
don't know if we should impose people with joy, but if they choose it, hey, that's great.
It's
Who
a
are we to
it's a
get in the way?
it's a nice gentle wish.
It is. It is.
Hey,
You know,
sometime if you want to come up and talk Course of Miracles with me.
that would be nice. That would be nice. You know all this stuff so much better than me. I don't remember stuff well. I've read so many books. People started quoting part of the book. I'm like, I don't remember that. I mean, I don't know.
But and I think you know this deeply. Course of Miracles isn't really a book; it's a transmission of
Yeah.
consciousness of love, and you live it. And I know you probably say, "Well, I try."
No, 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 I don't try. I mean, I fall short sometimes. And I guess the main thing A Course of Miracles did for me was it really lets me know if I'm out of my center. It drives me nuts. If I'm if I have a resentment toward a situation, a person, or even a thing, really, just a thing. If I'm not accepting something, it drives me crazy until I can.
Right.
And I shouldn't say it drives me crazy. It's just I don't know. I mean, through the course, one day it was all I need is the peace of God. All I want is the peace of God. And I lived such a secluded life that I was able to just meditate all day long, and that's all I was searching for, you know. But in and out of the course, I felt a divine peace. You know, just divine peace. Didn't need anything, want anything. Everything was great. And when you taste that kind of peaceful, joyous state, it that's all you really want. And
Mm.
you know, when I go to town and buy groceries or whatever, you know, I know that I'm the light of the world, and that you know, a simple smile, you know, an easy conversation, you know, it goes a long way, and you know, it brightens the day, man. Not having attack thoughts and judgments on people. And when I started the course, I used to judge vehicles. I would see some type of vehicle, right? I had resentment towards vehicles, you know, yeah, stupid truck or whatever, you know, it torturous existence. I didn't realize how much my preconceived utopias and judgments were really, you know, I don't know, torturing me, man. You know, but
The the line, my attack thoughts are attacking my invulnerability.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
and any attack thought is an attack against ourselves, an attack against God.
it is. It is. And you know, sometimes it's a very challenging world. There's a lot of huge mistakes that happen every day. And of course, the news is more than ready to show you all the horrible mistakes that are going on. And you know, it's a challenge not to get snagged into attack thoughts. You know, it really is. Um, I don't know, man. I used to really hate greedy people, and now I just really feel sorry for greedy people because I mean they're going down a bad road. I mean they really are. It's anytime that you don't truly love and consider the ones around you, you're in a you have to be in a state of utter misery. Um, you know, I notice people are constantly looking for things outside of themselves to validate, to satisfy, to I mean, constant internal problems people are looking outside, you know, to solve. You know, and you know, sometimes we get validation. Hey, yeah, you know, people like me or whatever. But I mean, it's just it's fuel for the fire, man. Makes me think of a Bongwater song. Fame is a monster. But anyway, you know, um it's yeah, yeah, that's one thing the course did was I mean it made me really consider my internal world well before anything else. And it hasn't really steered me wrong. I haven't starved or anything.
Right.
Or, you know, I managed to keep my car running, so you know, but
And you don't even change your oil.
I do not change my oil. 110,000 miles. I bought the car for $400.
Well,
I did change the alternator, which was a real pain.
I bet.
But yeah, I had a really good mechanic, but he died, which it happens.
Jace
But
says, very
I mean,
true. It becomes lonely if you don't value equally before cosmetic values.
I'm thinking about that. Could you say that again?
Very true. It becomes lonely if you don't value others equally before
Oh
cosmetic
yeah,
valuables.
yeah, yeah. It's you know, and this is nothing new. I mean, you know, it's in the Bible. There's some really good stuff in the Bible, you know, and there's some weird stuff too. But you know, the red
Hey,
letters to me are just, you know,
your
off the
Bible,
chart.
your Bible video, awesome. I loved it.
Oh, thanks. Thanks.
I hope
Well, it's just, man, I grew up I grew up in a Church of Christ, and I was an atheist when I was 14. I used the Bible to tell my dad that I was an atheist. You know, it's the Bible backwards and forwards. God calls those to him, not the other way around. Anyway, but yeah, the red letters, man. Uh, yeah, put your treasures in heaven where they don't rust. I've often thought, when people die, what's left, I mean, people believe in a heaven they're going to. They don't believe in a heaven here, which I believe heaven's now, and I perpetuate wherever I am right now. But so if you're going to heaven, I ask people, I like to ask tough questions. What about you is valuable enough to enter into this divine state? What about you is divine that you can take with you? It's not your house, it's not your car, it's not your good looks or bad. I sure don't think you can take anger, hate, greed, lust. These things aren't divine. So, I mean, if you believe in an afterlife, um, then perhaps you should live your life.
well,
So if you could,
that's the metaphor for the eye of the needle. That it's easier for a camel to pass through an eye of needle than it is for a rich man to enter into heaven. Not
right,
because he was rich, but because he is clinging, he's hoarding, he's attached. Um, you can have everything you want to have and still be free, but you need to know that you don't really have it. You don't really own it. That it is here for a brief time, and you have to be free to let it go when the time is to pass. And that way, you are rich in spirit, and you're giving as you said, the gifts of heaven, the gifts of the kingdom.
yeah, yeah,
I've always been confused why we got explicit directions on from Jesus. The kingdom of heaven is within, and we hear that, and we immediately look up and say, "I don't see it."
yeah, yeah. I think at one time he says it's all around you.
Right?
I don't know. I mean, I've read a lot of Gnostic Gospels, and it all just kind of blends together. And if I was saying it's in the Bible, it might actually be in the Gospel of Thomas, which, by the way, was available to the Council of Laodicea. They just chose to leave the Gospel of Thomas out. And the Gospel of Thomas is very different, very different. But you know, you can look in all this old historical stuff, but I mean, really, everybody knows what they're supposed to do in any given situation. You don't need the Bible, you don't need God, you don't need any concept of anything. Everybody knows how to be kind. Now we can get in our situations where we're totally blind to stuff. I mean, we can become obsessed with concepts. For example, I could join a political party and go nuts and be convinced of anything. However, my natural essence, if I'm not adjoined to mass hysteria, is to be loving kind, and I know how to do that, and we always know when we're in error. I believe. I mean, prior to the Course in Miracles, I mean, I knew when I was violating my better judgment,
Right.
so to speak.
I agree,
So
100%. Course of Miracles. I love the beginning. That this isn't a course that teaches you um, how to love. This isn't a course that teaches you love, because that which is all encompassing needs no teaching. It's remove all the barriers that keep you from realizing that you are loved. Love expressed through kindness, through gentleness, through humbleness. Um, and you summed that up perfectly, Adam. Not
oh,
only
thanks.
that,
Yeah.
I watch you in the live stream demonstrate it.
Well, thanks, Yogi. I would put my hands together. I dropped my phone. But man, you're awesome. You got all these beautiful people coming around. And I really think singing is healthy. I mean, so many, especially young people, are trying to find ways to express themselves, and I've read way too much psychology, but I mean, children are told that they can become something if they do this, if they do that, they can become something. And children are told so many times to be quiet, being yeah, the children are, even the best parents slightly suppress their children in one form or fashion.
Yeah.
And
Program.
yeah, and you know, there's a lot of smallness in the world, man. Yeah, from the time we're small, we're taught to be small, and mostly I love being small, insignificant, whatever. However, I don't like feeling that I can't express myself, that I can't be big. That I I've had a weird life, and well, I'll go ahead and tell you, I had a weird experience with Paxil. It's a antidepressant. It landed me in a psych ward, and I lost 70-80% of all fear. I just as I mentally recovered from this Paxil experience and being in the rubber room, I didn't fear things anymore. And Now I respect heights. I know if I'm in a dangerous situation, I might walk a little more carefully, or yeah, I do have a preservation of life, but I mean, I feel like I could strip naked and walk through, Tokyo. Um, and it was a weird thing, but in that weird experience, I also realized how much the inner person, the inner child, is very suppressed. Um, if you walk up to an average person and just start a conversation and you're not sly about it, you will freak them out. I mean, people are afraid of difference. People are, there's so much fear. Well, you mentioned Michael Singer
Mhm.
a long time ago. He's real big on there's only fear or there's only love. You cannot exist in, it's either one or the other. And I'm often cautious about simplistic teachings. It seems a little too simple, but it seems pretty accurate. Um, I think maybe stagnation might be in between fear and love. I think there might be a couple more, but yeah, but I think it's awesome. I went on a huge tangent, man. It's so nice being on your channel, talking to people. I can't
Um,
read on my glasses,
I appreciate you
but
going off on a tangent. I agree with Michael Singer. It's actually the same lesson as the course, that except they take an even more simplistic approach, and they say that you are either having extending thoughts of love or projecting fear. And they say, and fear is an illusion. So you only have love.
yeah. Well, I will say that we've read a lot of similar books, like Jonathan Livingston Seagull and all that. Long time ago, Alan Watts. Um, I've read a lot of stuff, and I mean, it really. The older I get and the more I read, it seems very simple, kind of like that. It's either love or fear. Um, you know, uh,
The best
Greek,
books are when you nod your head and go, you don't learn something, you just nod your head and say, yeah, I know this here.
yeah, yeah,
Alan Watts does that quite a bit to me, where, oh yeah, that's the way the universe is. I know that.
yeah. Uh, but he says it so eloquently that
Yeah.
it's. I wish I had that talent, but it's but yeah. But I really love. This is the first live channel I ever stumbled across. I'm not on Facebook. I'm not on any kind of social media. Um, Mostly because of a time thing. Um, the same reason I don't figure out my phone. I mean, I have something to plug my phone into my television I've had for 6 months, but I spent 30 minutes trying to get it to work, and that was just too much time.
Right.
I've got flowers to smell, I have birds to listen to, and it's just that kind of. But I don't know where I was going with that. Yes, all you younger people, your train of thought, it's not as consistent as when I was younger. But yeah, yeah. But I think it's great. I love everybody singing, and I really enjoy when people, start talking about problems because um, a lot of stuff has been so perverted in the Bible, and one of them is confess your sins one to another. Now, people go confess to priests in little boxes, or they'll go in front of the church and confess, yes, because of public humiliation or something. But the actual word for sin needs to miss the mark. It's an archery term. It's basically a mistake. So if I go to my friends and I say, man, I really hate that dude down there. It drives me crazy that I hate this guy. I mean, he bugs me to death. You know, a lot of times my friends can bring me around to accepting this person better. And now, of course, forgiveness in a course in miracles is different than what I just described. I mean, forgiveness is realizing it's all just a big game, and it's a good dream, bad dream, just dream it, and try to dream a good one.
Right.
But or say I'm drinking too much, oh, I'm really drinking too much, I can get encouragement from my friends. This is a mistake. It's not some stain on some garment, some ethereal garment that I can't even see that God finds disdainful. you
Right.
know,
I like
and
the term sangha, spiritual community. And I think at our best, that's what we offer each other.
Samhat,
Sangha. S Sangha. Sangha.
Sanha,
Yep.
Sanha. Yeah, I
Um,
like that too.
yeah, spiritual community. And I love the singing. And I love the conversations we have in the chat. My favorite is when people like you, people like Jace, people like Kat, Toy Pops come up and we have these heart to heart conversations. Um, and we just sometimes I think we tap into something um, between us and love just flows.
Well, like mine's. I mean, I'm sure every one of us, are loving the people around us, and I imagine all of us take responsibility for where we are. you know,
Right.
um, man, there's these guys. I just want to mention these guys. Anybody out there dealing with addiction? It's called the Killaby uh, Killaby Inquiries, or KIRepressiontest.com. But now I think 12-step programs are great and they help a lot of people. However, I've noticed when people are in recovery, a lot of times they want to blame their parents. They want to blame this, and this. I mean, I have been to AA meetings, and it's like I started drinking because my parents were doing this. And well, we talked about Wayne Dyer. One of the first things Wayne Dyer suggests to anybody is own everything. If you get T-boned in a car accident, you put yourself in the car. You drove yourself to that spot. If you blame the other person, you make yourself a victim. And what can you do with victimhood? So I don't know. It's one thing I do love about this channel is that you take a no nonsense approach to spiritual matters. You know, there's so many people out there selling manifestation techniques. It's like, you know, I mean, we manifest everything. I manifested exactly where I'm sitting. I manifested this phone conversation with, basically I'm responsible somewhat, partially
Right.
for where I am, and the only other part I'm not responsible for is therefore by the grace of God go I. By the grace of God in my willpower, I find myself right here, right now. And there's so much goofy spiritual stuff out there, man.
I like to refer to it as chasing after shiny things. We're always
Yeah,
chasing after a shiny or manifestation technique, a shiny or technique of a higher state of realization. Um, but it comes down to what you were saying. It comes down to the simplicity of forgiving and being kind
yeah, yeah. I mean,
and trusting.
I have it easy. I don't know about everybody out there, but man, during COVID, I went 6 weeks with two knocks on my door. You know, I'm so alone. I spend a lot of time alone. I like it that way, but I'm just not challenged. I don't have a 9 to 5. I mean, a lot of people have to deal with. I forgot what it was like, honestly, to have to deal with a weird coworker or just bizarre behaviors and stuff. And
Right.
I know it can be challenging. Um,
I was probably the weird coworker.
well, that's great, man. I'd love to hang out with you in the snack room, especially if you like weird books, which I imagine you do.
I do.
So, uh, but it's just really, I think probably most people who visit your channel do meditate, do take time away from the busy world, away from, just to be with themselves. And, you know, and I love the breath work you do on the channel. Um, I really hope that people use that breath work later
I
to
hope
go
so too.
deeper, to go deeper. And I hope everybody
Jason,
has a dog.
I
I'm
don't,
missing
but
my dog, man.
in the back of my mind, I haven't had a dog. My last two dogs passed away in 2019, and I
Um,
haven't been able to get one yet. But I'm getting closer. Jace has a question for you. And then
okay.
I'm going to have to wrap it up. Jace says, Adam, would you go on a fitness journey?
I don't know.
Honest
I don't
answer.
know.
I like that.
Um, One thing that keeps me from it is that when I was, I guess, 21 or whatever, I could jump over my car. I was spry. You know, I could hold my own in a gym. I did isometric training. I got away from weights when I was younger, but I can't ever imagine being that healthy again.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I my short little legs, I could run a pretty good 100, and I don't know.
Well,
Um,
I know from the question that Jace would love to guide you if you ever decide. And he's a good guide.
I probably should. I'll tell you this, Jace. I'm gonna start doing yoga again,
Awesome.
and then I might go on a fitness journey. After Sophie died, man, I had a whiplash for 2.5 days. I mean, a real whiplash. I couldn't move my head, and it was it was wild. It really was. Um, Took a lot of mourning to get. I, she was a lovely dog. She was never a pain in the neck. So I don't know why when she left she had to, or not she, but I ended up with this thing. It
Right.
was crazy. But yeah, it really reminded me that I do need to care about my body a little more.
Happy to help with the yoga.
Thanks. What do you think about pre-yoga? I mean, I'm thinking about just waking up and getting blood to my extremities. Very
Um,
simple.
do you have Yogananda's energizing routine?
No,
I can see if I can find it, and I'll send it. I think you'll like it. And
I do
it's
love Yogananda.
yeah, and of course he taught Kriya Yoga. So the energizing routine is straight out of. It's funny. His brother was a pretty famous yogi who did traditional uh, hatha yoga. Um, but I'll send you some information about him. I think you'll find him pretty fascinating too. But I think that's a good idea. I like his energizing exercises. I like the energizing exercises of Kriya Yoga, and that you're. I was just talking about this earlier in the stream. I think sun salutation and followed by a deep squat, a yogic squat, and child pose can be a complete routine.
Nice.
And you could do that whole thing in less than 5 minutes, unless you wanted to do more than one sun salutation.
Okay. Wow, I was doing a program that took me 35 minutes. I used to wake up 35 minutes early to work at a dental lab nightmare. I mean, just a slave factory of teeth. It was awful. But anyway, so I had to do 35 minutes of yoga just so my hands and neck wouldn't
Right.
seize up while I was working. So
So
but yeah,
Jay said a simple where'd it go? Simple 10 to 15 stretch followed by a 15-minute workout is all it takes. You got this, Adam.
you know what, Jace, I'm gonna get on it, man. Which means in the next month. In the next month, I'm going to bite the bullet very slowly. So yeah, in a month. Yeah,
Awesome.
yeah, I'm into it. One problem is, man, I've been so bad to my body, but it's always been so good to me.
Right.
I mean, most people think I'm pretty healthy, and I guess I am, but I could probably be a whole lot healthier if I quit smoking and exercised. So. But
And a lot of
anyway,
times we don't realize how good we could feel until we start feeling good.
true.
It's the horrible analogy for a vegan, the boiled frog syndrome, where we
Oh
just
yeah.
get more and more comfortable with the hotter and hotter water. But if you were to take the 21-year-old Adam and throw him into how old are you, Adam?
57. Oh, he'd be
And throw him into the
screaming and
50s.
wailing.
Let me out.
He would
Let me
be.
let me out. Let me out.
He would be miserable. I told my son that. I said, "Man, if you could enter my skin for an hour, you would be crying to get out." We get used to our pains and our whatever.
We do.
And
We do.
some of it is necessary. And man, gluten. Yeah, I don't mean to be weird about food or anything, but I always thought gluten. My stomach never bothers me. And then I found out that gluten is the number one cause for inflammation. It's a main cause of inflammation, and I have arthritic problems. Well, I cut gluten from my diet for a week and felt twice as good. Just from removing gluten,
Right.
which I still eat a little bit of gluten, but I know that I do better to eat rice.
Um,
So,
I always use the example of with that boiled frog syndrome. If you ate a Big Mac
oh God,
and had all of the symptoms of a lifetime of eating that way hit you at once, you would never have a Big Mac again.
no.
But because we don't experience it right off the bat, we have Big Mac, and then we have another one the next day, and then we might have two the day after.
Oh,
Never thinking about it, and we slowly get used to what it's like to have that kind of a diet.
We actually get addicted to the chemical responses we have to horrible foods.
We do.
It's bad. You know, if people are watching, please don't eat Big Macs.
Thank
And I'm
you.
going to go on about something about meat, okay? All you meat eaters that think it's fine, okay, fine. But I'm going to tell you something. If you hunt a deer, you want to drop that deer very fast. If you want to eat a cow and you want to do it cleanly, you sneak up on the cow. Now, these slaughterhouses, cows are smart, so they are stressed to the gills as they're going to get slaughtered. And what happens is they have all these stress hormones in their meat as they're slaughtered. And that hamburger meat that's sitting on Kroger shelf or Publix or whatever is full of stress hormone and chemicals to hide the stress hormone. So, I mean, if you're going to eat meat, at least eat good meat. This stressed out, what is it, adrenochrome, or I think it's adrenochrome. But anyway, I mean, the stress hormone is you know, not good for you.
You're,
Not good
you're
for you at all.
you're preaching to the choir, Adam, for sure.
I figured.
But I appreciate it. And
Thanks,
I
man.
always tell people this is why I support the hunting and fishing community, because
Yeah,
they know what they're doing, they know how to do it, and they're not being cruel. But factory farms, when anything becomes a commodity, it becomes cruel.
oh, it
Uh,
does.
you're exploiting an animal, and Danny, exploiting an animal, a being, a loving being that has the same wish to be alive as we do, and we are torturing it. Not only that, we're finding new ways of torturing them, keep them
Yeah.
alive longer, keep them milking longer, keep them existing in pain longer. Um, I don't I don't see that in the hunting community. I don't see that in the fishing community. They don't want
Yeah.
to they don't want to bring pain. They want meat on their table, and I've seen I've seen the gratitude that they have.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. Wild game has some of the best cholesterols your body could want. If you took a wild turkey and tested those cholesterols against a butterball, it's like one is super healthy for you and one will kill you. If you want to die faster, then deep fry it. A deep fried butterball turkey is about the worst thing you can eat
I
as far
imagine
as
so.
cholesterol.
Right.
And while I'm on cholesterol, if you're eating, I don't believe it's not butter, well, don't and quit eating it because butter comes from nature.
Right.
Polysaturated fat has too many letters in it.
Um, Years ago when they had the fat-free potato chips come out,
Oh,
um,
God.
with Alestra, I think it was, and
Yeah, okay.
on the can of Pringles. Uh, Pringles, by the way, are vegan, and sometimes we would buy them for, at least the original ones were. Sometimes we would buy them for to take them to a race, and then they started putting the Alestra in, and it had a warning label, and the warning label said may cause anal leakage, which I
Ooh.
had never heard before. And I'm thinking, if anyone reads that label and still buys them, shrugs their shoulders and go, what's a little bit of, they
A
taste
little
good.
bit of leak.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey,
That tells,
if we're going down a gross road, um, Crohn's disease and what's the other? Anyway, Crohn's disease. I was a curious kid and I like to look up weird diseases back in the 70s and whatnot. And I came across Crohn's. And what Crohn's disease does is the intestines tunnel its way out of the body. Crohn's untreated will create what's called fistulas, which are holes in the body from the belly button down to the kneecaps that leak intestinal fluid. And when you say anal leak, it just reminds me of advanced stages of Crohn's.
right, my sister has Crohn's.
Well, I mean, I know that they have a better time of treating it, but if you look at the history of celiac and Crohn's disease, it exploded in the late around the 90s. All of a sudden, I mean, it just prior to that, it was a more rare disease.
Right.
And we've
Interesting.
been monkeying around with bread really badly. There's all kinds of weird chemicals in breads. There's all kinds of advanced yeast. You know, bread is sacred. It really is. And we've just gone way too far with treating bread like a commodity.
Right.
Yeah.
That's that word again. Whenever something becomes a commodity, it becomes something else. It no longer nurtures the soul or the body
Yeah.
or the mind.
You know, many, many years ago, bread was about friendship and community. And, it's easier to make bread as a community.
Right.
We laborious, so
Hey,
anyway.
Adam, I'm going to have to wrap things up. I'm going to head to bed.
Hey, it was great. Thank you, Jace, for showing me how to get on the phone. I'm glad you're wrapping things up because I'm going to have to figure out how to get off now.
Well, stay here for a second and I'll say goodbye. And then that'll end the live stream right away.
All right.
So, guys, it's a fun night. I appreciate everyone coming up. I appreciate the songs. And it was great to have my first experience face to face with Adam. You've been coming around and hanging out for a bit. I know you took a break for a while.
Yeah,
came
I
back.
like to disconnect.
And I'm glad that you came back. And I'm glad you've
Thanks.
become such an essential member
Yeah.
of our community. And I truly mean essential.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
And with that, hi, Daisy. With that, we're going to say goodbye. You want to say goodbye to everyone, Adam?
Have a great rest of your weekend, everybody.
And I'll see you, if you're around, I'll see you at 5 a.m.
If I can't sleep, maybe.
I'm gonna start reading. Thank you, Arco Point. I'm gonna start reading from my first book again for the next couple weeks. Does God Have a Hero? 5 a.m. So if anyone's interested,
I will try to wake up, but I will get on the yoga and exercise stuff.
and keep us posted. Thank you,
All right.
Adam. Thanks, guys. I'll see everyone tomorrow.